जय श्री माता जी। जय श्री माता जी। ऑनलाइन उपस्थित विश्व के सभी साधकों का सुबह के ध्यान सत्र में हार्दिक स्वागत है। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी को वंदन करके हम सब ध्यान की स्थिति में बैठते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी आज का ध्यान सत्र शुरू करने की कृपया अनुमति प्रदान कीजिए। सामूहिक बंधन लेते हैं। अपना चित्त हृदय में लाते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माताजी, कृपावंत होकर आप हमारे हृदय में विराजिए। आपकी कृपा में हमारा हृदय निर्मल, शुद्ध एवं विशाल बनाइए। परम पूज्य श्री माताजी, आपकी कृपा में हम केवल शुद्ध आत्मा हैं। तीन महामंत्र, तत्पश्चात श्री गणेश मंत्र। जय श्री माता जी। संतुलन करने हेतु अपना राइट हैंड पृथ्वी तत्व पर रखते हैं। राइट हैंड ऑन मदर अर्थ। अपना चित्त ईड़ा नाड़ी और सहस्रार पर। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपकी कृपा में सामूहिकता के ईड़ा नाड़ी पर तमोगुण के सभी बाधक तत्व भूमि तत्व में विलीन कर दीजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर सामूहिकता की ईड़ा नाड़ी शुद्ध कर दीजिए। राइट हैंड गोद में, लेफ्ट हैंड आकाश की तरफ। राइट हैंड ऑन लैप, लेफ्ट हैंड टुवर्ड्स द स्काई। अपना चित्त पिंगला नाड़ी और सहस्रार पर। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपकी कृपा में सामूहिकता के पिंगला नाड़ी पर रजोगुण के सभी बाधक तत्व अहंकार आकाश तत्व में विलीन कर दीजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर सामूहिकता की पिंगला नाड़ी शुद्ध कर दीजिए। लेफ्ट हैंड ऑन द लैप। अपना चित्त मध्य नाड़ी और सहस्रार पर। अटेंशन ऑन सेंट्रल चैनल एंड सहस्रारा। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा कर आप हमें संतुलन दीजिए। हमें वर्तमान में रखिए। अपना चित्त मूलाधार चक्र पर लाते हैं। काइंडली ब्रिंग अटेंशन ऑन मूलाधार चक्र। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी आपकी कृपा में सामूहिकता के मूलाधार चक्र पर श्री गणेश जी की शक्ति जागृत कीजिए, कार्यान्वित कीजिए। श्री माता जी कृपा कर हमें अबोध बनाइए। श्री गणेश अथर्व शीर्ष।
ॐ नमस्ते गणपतये त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं तत्त्वमसि त्वमेव केवलं कर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं धर्तासि त्वमेव केवलं हर्तासि त्वमेव सर्वं खल्विदं ब्रह्मासि त्वं साक्षात् आत्मासि नित्यं ऋतं वच्मि सत्यं वच्मि अवत्वं माम् अववक्तारम् अवश्रोतारम् अवदातारम् अवधातारम् अवानुचा नमवशिष्यम् अवपश्चात्तात् अवपुरस्तात् अवोत्तरात्तात् अवदक्षिणात्तात् अवश्च ऊर्ध्वात्तात् अवाधरात्तात् सर्वतो मां पाहि पाहि समन्तात् त्वं वाङ्मयस्त्वं चिन्मयः त्वम् आनन्दमयस्त्वं ब्रह्ममयः त्वं सच्चिदानन्द द्वितीयोऽसि त्वं प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वं ज्ञानमयो विज्ञानमयोऽसि सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तो जायते सर्वं जगदिदं त्वत्तस्तिष्ठति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि लयमेष्यति सर्वं जगदिदं त्वयि प्रत्येति त्वं भूमिरापो नलो अनिलो नभः त्वं चत्वारि वाक्पदानि त्वं गुणत्रयातीतः त्वं देहत्रयातीतः त्वं कालत्रयातीतः त्वं मूलाधारस्थितोऽसि नित्यं त्वं शक्तित्रयात्मकः त्वां योगिनो ध्यायन्ति नित्यं त्वं ब्रह्मा स्वं विष्णु स्वं रुद्र स्वं इन्द्र स्वं अग्नि स्वं वायु स्वं सूर्य स्वं चन्द्रमा स्वं ब्रह्मभूर्भुवस्वरोम गणादीं पूर्वमुच्चार्य वर्णादीं तदनन्तरम् अनुस्वारः परतरः अर्धेन्दुलसितं तारेण रुद्धम् एतत्तव मनुस्वरूपं गकारः पूर्वरूपम् अकारो मध्यमरूपम् अनुस्वारश्च अन्त्यरूपं बिन्दुः उत्तररूपं नादः सन्धानं संहिता सन्धिः सैषा गणेशविद्या गणकऋषिः निःसृत गायत्री छन्दः गणपतिर्देवता ॐ गं गणपतये नमः एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ते प्रचोदयात् एकदन्तं चतुर्हस्तं पाशमङ्कुशधारिणं रदं च वरदं हस्तैर्बिभ्राणं मूषकध्वजं रक्तं लम्बोदरं शूर्पकर्णकं रक्तवाससं रक्तगन्धानुलिप्ताङ्गं रक्तपुष्पैः सुपूजितं भक्तानुकम्पिनं देवं जगत्कारणम् अच्युतम् आविर्भूतं च सृष्ट्यादौ प्रकृतेः पुरुषात् परम् एवं ध्यायति यो नित्यं स योगी योगिनां वरः नमो व्रातपतये नमो गणपतये नमः प्रमथपतये नमस्ते अस्तु लम्बोदराय एकदन्ताय विघ्ननाशिने शिवसुताय श्रीवरदमूर्तये नमो नमः साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
अपना चित्त मूलाधार पर लाते हैं। श्री कुंडलिनी गौरी माता साक्षात। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कुंडलिनी गौरी माता साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। अपना चित्त मध्य नाड़ी से सहस्रार पर लाते हैं। काइंडली ब्रिंग योर अटेंशन टू सहस्रारा। परम पूज्य श्री माताजी कृपावंत होकर आप हमारे सहस्रार पर विराजिए। कृपा कर हमारा आत्म साक्षात्कार दृढ़ कीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माताजी कृपा कर हमें निर्विचारिता प्रदान कीजिए। kindly grant us the thoughtless awareness state. परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा आकर हमें निर्विचार निर्विकल्प ध्यान में स्थित कीजिए। जय श्री माता जी। इसी ध्यान की स्थिति में अमृतवाणी आत्मसात करते हैं। बर्थडे पूजा 1991 पार्ट 1।
And such nice things to say. The cards and the letters and the beautiful poems. The children are singing beautifully. Words fail to express the feelings of such jubilation and such sincere feeling of happiness. You needed a mother to look after you, to care for you, and to be able to transform you with lot of wisdom. So every birthday I find that Sahajogis are also expanding their hearts and realizing that they are no more drops, but they are part and parcel of the ocean. And that the ocean itself is going to strengthen them and look after them. It's the ocean that is going to nourish them. And the same ocean is going to guide them. So the connection between a drop and an ocean has to be fully established. So the limitations of a drop have to be absolutely dissolved into the greatness of the ocean. With care and with nice things to say, we can improve the depth of the collectivity. And with sincere desire to be collective. The desire to be collective has to be very sincere. So, this expanse of your being will start. The first thing is needed a sincerity to yourself. Of course, because we are coming from a drop status, from a drop, a little limited drop, from that phase. So, we get engulfed again and again into those limitations. But we must see our own vision, what you will be in future, what you want to be in future. Thus, this sincerity itself to the idea that you want to be collective itself will break all barriers. If you are sincere to any purpose, anything, then you forget the time, you forget the labor, you forget everything, you want to achieve it. Even in small things. Now this sincerity comes from where? There are two things which work out sincerity. Firstly, you must see for yourself what is Sahajayoga. What it has given you. It has given you realization. It has given you that wider vision. It has given you collective consciousness. It has given you thoughtless awareness and doubtless awareness. It has made a new personality out of you, like an egg becoming a bird. And now you are a bird and you cannot go back to the shell again. Once you realize what Sahajayoga has done for you, and also realize what you have achieved in that. That is, you have achieved the knowledge, knowledge of Kundalini, which was a secret knowledge all these years. Absolutely secret knowledge. Nobody knew about it. It was all underground. All the knowledge about Kundalini you have, very clearly. Without going to any college, school, university, anywhere. Without going to any laboratories, you have experimented with it. You found out what is Kundalini. You have seen with your own eyes, you have seen the rising of the Kundalini. You have given realization to people. Already you have experienced not only the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost, but you have also experienced your own powers. Also you have seen that you have really become so much different from what you were in your knowledge of understanding things. So, if your knowledge is so much with you. And that you are entitled to raise the Kundalini of others, which was not done by any great saints before, by any great seers, Maharshis, all these great people who lived. Only very, very few people had this capacity to raise the Kundalini. All these years that you have got. You understand what are the chakras and you can diagnose it, even the children can do it. Which we don't realize is something so great. At a human level, we didn't know a word about it. We never even had heard the word Kundalini. And in such a short time, you have become so knowledgeable. That's the blessing of Sahajayoga. So when you see this, that you have so much knowledge, and the light of your attention, how it works, and then you see so many blessings that work out, and how automatically, just without doing anything, you achieve results. You are amazed. And you can't understand how it has happened, how it has worked out. Suddenly I was there, this happened. Suddenly I was there, that happened. How? This ocean is every moment, into all details, working out things. All these happenings should open your eyes to the fact that you are no more like an ordinary human being, that you are sages now, that you are saints. So our attitude has to be changed. So many human beings are still animals. You can see the way they are killing, the way they are behaving. They are not even human beings. We live with them. You see them every day. They are criminals, and not only that, but they have very low level of culture in them. We can easily call them as animals. Then we have some human beings who are half animals and half human beings. Then we have some human beings who are really human beings, who are seekers. Good evening, Basa. Let them come forward if you want. Good evening, Basa. And this understanding of what you have achieved in Sahajayoga should immediately make you realize what you are. And when it all has happened to us, automatically you should be very sincere about it. You must feel that something really we have achieved is something so great. So we have to be sincere. Mentally also, you should feel that way. So this is first thing you do is to mentally feel that it's so important. It is so important. It is so valuable. You become very sincere about it. But the second part is different, where you see something, you know something, and you start opening your heart about it. In the second part, you have to open your heart. So the sincerity comes from an open heart. If your heart is not open, you cannot be sincere. Now what does it mean that your heart is not open? Let us see. You are born again. You have got your realization. Also it is your birthday in a way. But in the growth of your knowledge and understanding, you have not kept pace with your heart. But what is the reason for that? What is it that keeps your heart like that? You can discover very easily that your heart rules the body, rules your brain, everything. Because if your heart stops, everything stops. But if your brain stops, heart won't stop. So heart is the most important thing, and it governs the whole being within you. Now this special instrument, which is very delicate, which circulates also, is like a stone. How will it pulsate? So when we say enlarge your heart, it means that the stoniness of your heart has to be melted away. How does it become stony? We have to go to the roots of that. It becomes like a stone because the heart controls the brain. As there are 7 auras on your brain, in the same way there are 7 auras on your heart. And all those auras are the ones which control the auras of the brain. Now, on the brain, as you know, there are 2 institutions of ego and conditionings, which starts pressing the brain too much. As a result, all these auras get pressed. So the auras which are surrounding the heart also get pressed. But brain can think, yes, this is very good, I know how to raise Kundalini, I know how to do this, everything, I know what there is. It doesn't become stony that way. It can think. Anybody who is a stone-hearted fellow can think, like Hitler. So the brain does not get affected by the conditioning of the ego to such an extent that it becomes like a stone which cannot think. If it is ego too much, just close it and bring, go on falling, I am holding it on. If it's an ego, then a person may become stupid, but he thinks all right. He really becomes stupid. Anybody who is an egoist, whose agya is catching, becomes a stupid fellow, no doubt about it. You see in his behavior, whenever he talks, the way he is trying to do anything, he's such a show-off, and he becomes a stupid fellow. Any wise person can see that he is such a stupid man. So, what we find, that mind is covered with the superego, but it does not make a person with a brain which is stony. On the contrary, it makes a person a stupid person, not a stone-headed. And such a stupid man can go on talking all kinds of things, and you can immediately recognize such a stupid man, no difficult. The other side of it is the conditionings in the mind. That's even a worse thing, very sly. Because somebody has the conditionings, he doesn't come out of it. He doesn't show off. But he's sly. And his brain is covered with such ideas which are asahaj. Like somebody saw me in a puja washing my hands. and giving that water. They said, why do you take the water which is washing mother's hands? So the other one said, mother has got such tremendous vibrations in her hands that when we wash them, the vibrations come in. Oh, he couldn't believe it. Because the conditionings are that whenever you wash your hands, only the dirt comes out. So they can't think of vibrations. All such conditionings are there in the mind of people. Because of these conditionings, they cannot take to heart. But what happens? That they think about it in a very sly manner, tell lies, talk nonsensical things, and try to convince you that they are right. They are not stupid, but they are idiotic. They talk like idiots. And that idiotic thing you accept. There is no wisdom in it. So one fellow is a stupid fellow, another one is an idiot. Between the two lies the Sahajayoga. So this conditioning makes the brain pervert, but it doesn't make it a stone. Only what makes it a stone is that if he is born with some sort of a mental derangement that he cannot think. Otherwise, the brain goes on thinking, whether with conditionings or with ego. It goes on thinking. Such a brain should not affect the heart, because heart affects the brain. But the auras which are manifested from the heart start becoming dull or disappearing. So the auras around the heart are very sensitive and they feel no use throwing light on the brain. They start becoming smaller and smaller, and that's how the heart becomes small. Because they have no purpose in life then. So they start becoming smaller and smaller. As a result, the heart becomes small. You call somebody is very small-hearted fellow, is a chicken-hearted fellow, or we always say such a man is a stone-hearted person. All this happens because of the conditionings and the ego of the human mind, and the result is felt by the heart becoming a stone, because heart is a sensitive thing. Brain is not that sensitive. If you put something soft in the water, it becomes hard. But if you put a stone in the water and boil it, it won't. So heart being very sensitive and delicate becomes like a stone, as if boiled in the heat of the brain waves. And it becomes a very hard stone. It does not know how to say even one word which is nice. It goes on hitting people all the time, saying things which one should not have said. All the time thinking, what should we say to hurt another person? How should I try to really mislead another person? Because it's a sly attitude. The ego part, the heart becomes again frozen with ego. And then the heart thinks, not thinks, but heart cannot emit any auras to the brain. The brain starts thinking that now the area of heart is finished. The heart cannot control us anymore. Then heart starts thinking that I will do all the work myself. I mean, the head starts saying, And the heart becomes small, stony, it doesn't act. So now the brain takes over. The brain takes over and then brain starts itself acting in a manner that we can't understand. They behave like animals, they behave like satanic people, they become very cruel, and they do not know how to really say something good to others. There's a kind of a very false pride in them, and such people go on hurting others, insulting others, till they meet another one like them, and then both of them collapse. That's the only snag in the whole thing. Otherwise, we would have been finished by now. But because the two persons with ego cannot be together, they neutralize each other. So thank God, we are saved from that. So these two conditionings, which actually are on the brain, these two conditions freeze the heart and also make the domain of heart as zero. And then the brain starts asserting itself. That is how we do not know how to be kind to others, how to be nice, how to be helpful, how to be gentle, and how to be reassuring, protecting others. All this we have inherited already. We have already got a stone heart when we come to Sahajayoga, and we have a brain either full of ego or superego. So now with your Kundalini rising, you can clear out your head first of all. So the sincerity will come when the Kundalini will move and touch your Brahmarandra, which is the seat of your heart, and will expand. Then the heart just comes back like a king, returns back, and start dominating the brain. When the heart comes back, immediately find those people with whom we are angry, we would not talk, we had nothing to do. Suddenly you become friendly with them. There's no problem. In many ways, people have harmed you. All that harming and everything just disappears. And you start becoming so nice and beautiful. What has happened that Kundalini has touched your Brahmarandra, where is the seat of heart. And as soon as that opens out, your heart also opens. And it gets awakened, it thinks, oh, what? I have allowed this brain to rule me? How dare it rule me? It just jumps on it. And we have seen people, suddenly there is so much transformed, that's remarkable. The one gentleman in America, he said that, Mother, after realization, I was so much changed that I become a very mild person. And I never used to wish my uncle or anyone. So he met him in some sort of a fete. And then he said, hello, uncle. The uncle started looking at him. Are you all right? He would never say that. Then he went and saw, are you all right, uncle? Are you keeping all right? Can I do something for you? Very nice things he said. Uncle said, what have you been doing? Are you drunk or what? How can you speak so sweetly to me? I can't believe it. That's what happens. And that's why we have to understand that all these things can be easily dropped out because we have acquired them. They can be finished off because we have acquired them. They need not be all our lives, our relations. So, ego and superego. Both can be blasted off once your heart is awakened. So, when we are dealing with people, we have to break the ice also by communicating with others in a very decent manner. Like telling yourself, no, I don't believe that this man is so bad. Let me look after him. He may be all right. I don't think he's so bad. So, to accept somebody is bad is very easy for human beings. And once they start accepting such a thing, then they build up a kind of a fortress in which they live and they think they are the best people. and nobody else is good. And thus the whole community, the whole society, the whole humanity gets bitten by these ideas. And Sahajayoga is the only way which is going to cure it. Sahajayoga is the only way which is going to finish this. And that part is to be prayed by you people, to understand that sincerity can only come if you raise your Kundalini again and again and open your Brahmarata. Then your heart will rise. It will become a very awakened personality, and it will take charge of your brain, which is all the time thinking like mad. And once that happens, then you will realize that now you have jumped into doubtless awareness. So the relationship between the two has to be fully understood. At first, the domination of the heart, or we can say the kinghood of heart, is challenged, is put down, brought to zero, and then this brain becomes the king and it starts ruling us. I think, I feel means the brain, the ego. If you could give up, I think, I want, everything will be all right. You should say, I want is not the point. This body wants it. You separate yourself. Gradually you start separating yourself from all such situations by never saying, I want. You should say, this body, this hand, this head. You start separating. And once you are separated, all these barriers of ego and superego will disappear. But as it is, also it's very easy to get rid of these two. Very easy to get rid of these two. Only by raising your Kundalini and breaking your Brahmarata. This is the greatest achievement that you have got, that you can break your Brahmarandra, make your Kundalini get connected with the all-pervading power. That's why I always say you must meditate and you must be in thoughtless awareness that it works out. Don't pay attention to outside things so much. Of course, you are in a way responsible.
जय श्री माता जी, कृपया ध्यान की स्थिति बनाए रखें. Let us meditate for some time. जय श्री माता जी। श्री आदिशक्ति मंत्र। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवै नमो नमः। आरती की तैयारी करते हैं।
सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माताजी, जय निर्मल माताजी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माताजी, जय निर्मल माताजी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जग में संकट कारण कितने लिए अवतार माँ, कितने लिए अवतार। विश्व में तेरी महिमा, विश्व में तेरी महिमा। तू गंगा यमुना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माताजी, जय निर्मल माताजी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जो भी शरण में आया सुख ही मिला उसको माँ, सुख ही मिला उसको। बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ, बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ। लौट के ना जाना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माताजी, सुन लो हो ये सके जो सेवा हो ये सके जो सेवा हमसे करा लेना माँ सबको दुआ देना सबको दुआ देना माँ सबको दुआ देना जय निर्मल माताजी जय निर्मल माताजी दिल में सदा रहना माँ सबको दुआ देना माँ सबको दुआ देना माँ सबको दुआ देना। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी सरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुण्डलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्के साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवी नमो नमः। त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्के साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माताजी
परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आज का ध्यान हम आपके श्री चरणों पर समर्पित करते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमारा हृदय पूर्ण रूप से खोल दीजिए, विशाल बनाइए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमें सामूहिकता में प्रस्थापित कीजिए। कृपा कर हमें सिंसियर बनाइए, हमें सहज योग में परिपक्वता प्रदान कीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमें कुंडलिनी जागृति का संपूर्ण ज्ञान प्रदान कीजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमारा आत्म तत्व जागृत कीजिए, प्रकाशित कीजिए। हमारा हृदय मुलायम बनाइए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमें अहंकार और प्रति अहंकार से परे स्थित कीजिए। कृपा कर हमें सुबुद्धि दीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमें निर्विचार बनाइए। हमारा आत्म साक्षात्कार दृढ़ कीजिए और हमें ध्यान की गहराई में स्थित कीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपके श्री चरणों पर हमारा कोटि कोटि नमन, कोटि कोटि नमन, अनंत कोटि नमन। जय श्री माता जी। सामूहिक बंधन लेते हैं, कलेक्टिव बंधन। जय श्री माता जी। आज के कार्यक्रम, आज शाम का ध्यान ठीक 7 बजे प्रतिष्ठान पुणे यूट्यूब चैनल पर लाइव प्रसारित होगा। आज का ध्यान सत्र यहीं पे संपन्न होता है। अब हम सहज संगीत का आनंद लेते हैं। आज का दिन सबके लिए आनंदमय, मंगलमय रहे। जय श्री माता जी।
चार गोरी खेल मना।
राग छत्तीसों गावे, बिन स्वर राग छत्तीसों गावे, रोम रोम झनकार रे होरी खेल मना, फागुन के दिन चार रे होरी खेल मना, फागुन के दिन चार, फागुन के दिन चार होरी खेल मना, फागुन के दिन चार होरी खेल मना। शील संतोष की केसर घोली, शील संतोष की केसर घोली, प्रेम प्रीत पिचकार रे होरी खेल मना, फागुन के दिन चार रे होरी खेल मना, फागुन के दिन चार, फागुन के दिन चार होरी खेल मना, फागुन के दिन चार होरी खेल मना। उड़त गुलाल लाल भयो अंबर, उड़त गुलाल लाल भयो अंबर, दीखत ज्योतिया पार रे होरी खेल मना, फागुन के दिन चार रे होरी खेल मना, फागुन के दिन चार, फागुन के दिन चार होरी खेल मना, फागुन के दिन चार होरी खेल मना। घट के पट सब खोल दिए हैं, घट के पट सब खोल दिए हैं, श्री माँ रही निहार रे होरी खेल मना, फागुन के दिन चार रे होरी खेल मना, फागुन के दिन चार, फागुन के दिन चार होरी खेल मना, फागुन के दिन चार होरी खेल मना। सहजी घट में फाग मचो है, सहजी घट में फाग मचो है, के दिन चार होरी खेल मना। फागुन के दिन चार रे होरी खेल मना। फागुन के दिन चार रे होरी खेल मना। फागुन के दिन चार। फागुन के दिन चार होरी खेल मना। 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 सहज योगी होरी खेलत। हाँ होरी खेलत आज 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 सहज योगी होरी खेलत। होरी खेलत आज सहज योगी होरी खेलत। गुलाल चहूँ दिश छायो। उड़त गुलाल चहूँ दिश छायो। समझ पड़े न कोई होरी होरी खेलत। हाँ होरी खेलत आज सहज योगी होरी खेलत। हो होरी खेलत आज सहज योगी होरी खेलत। हाँ 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 होरी खेलत आज सहज योगी होरी खेलत। अनेक महाधुन बाजत। धप अनेक महाधुन बाजत। गावत गीत दुहुन होरी होरी खेलत। हाँ होरी खेलत आज सहज योगी होरी खेलत। हो होरी खेलत आज सहज योगी होरी खेलत। हाँ 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 होरी खेलत आज सहज योगी होरी खेलत।
बाल गोपाल सहजी सब हर्षित, बाल गोपाल सहजी सब हर्षित, डारत रंग कुमकुम होरी होरी खेलत, हाँ होरी खेलत आज सहज योगी 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 होरी खेलत। सहज कहे माँ तुमरे दरस की, सहज कहे माँ तुमरे दरस की, वर्णी न जाए छवि थोरी थोरी खेलत, होरी खेलत आज सहज योगी होरी खेलत, होरी खेलत आज सहज योगी होरी खेलत, हाँ 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 होरी खेलत आज सहज योगी होरी खेलत, होरी खेलत आज सहज योगी होरी खेलत, हाँ होरी खेलत आज सहज योगी होरी खेलत, हाँ होरी खेलत आज सहज योगी होरी खेलत, हाँ होरी खेलत आज सहज योगी होरी खेलत, होरी खेलत आज सहज योगी होरी खेलत, होरी खेलत आज सहज योगी होरी खेलत।